These mountains are home to a factory that was once one of the most significant in England. The trouble is, I've turned up about 5,000 years too late to see it in production. What was made here, and where am I? Find out as we escape to the country. On today's show, I'll be taking our buyers to a county that's almost a home from home, as they've been holidaying there all their lives. Along the way, I'm hoping to unlock the potential in some very intriguing properties. That's the key to the front door.
Wow.
That gives you a little clue as to what it's going to be like in there. And then the appeal of the mystery house makes them go all territorial.
I'm not sure I'd want to invite the family because they'd never leave.
No, I don't think I would either. I'm in the Lake District in Cumbria, and behind me is the Langdale Axe Factory, which in the Mesolithic period was so successful that over a quarter of stone axes unearthed in England came from this site. As you can see, it's not the easiest factory in the whole world to get to, hence the sweat on my brow. But prehistoric man used to climb this slope to collect a rare vein of volcanic rock. And this scree is entirely man-made. It's failed axes and factory shavings. Well, later on in the programme, I'm going to try my hand at axe making. But if that doesn't take your fancy, well, there's plenty going on in this county that's sure to appeal. Cumbria is the most northwesterly county in England and is home to its largest national park, the Lake District. Covering nearly 900 square miles, the Lake District's boundaries contain all 10 of the highest peaks in England and over 20 major bodies of water, from Bassenthwaite Lake in the north to the Queen of them all in the south, Windermere. At 10.5 miles long and over a mile wide, Windermere is England's largest natural stretch of its type. In fact, it's so big that it even has its own tides. Like the rest of the country, house prices here in Cumbria reached a peak back in 2008 before crashing, and they're still on a fluctuating downward spiral. The price for an average detached house here now is £241,000. That's £10,000 below the national figure and also lower than they were at the height of the crash. But if you step inside the Lake District Park boundaries, then that saving is lost. You'll be paying a premium of around 15%, especially in touristy areas like Windermere. But for that price, not only will you get fantastic views, but also a choice of period styles. Like Beatrix Potter without rabbits or Wordsworth without daffodils, the English lakes wouldn't be the same without Lakeland cottages. These whitewashed homes with their slate roofs dot the fells and come in all shapes and sizes. For a 2 to 3 bedroom property in the area around Windermere, you can expect to pay anything from £250,000, depending on how much renovation work has been done. But if you're taken with the slate tiles, why not go for an entirely slate property? Thanks to the wealth and variety of quarries in the county, you can find them in a myriad of colours. Green slate of Keswick to the blue-grey of Skiddaw. Commonly 2 up, 2 down, you can expect to pay upwards of £200,000 for one of these treasures. So lots of fantastic properties on offer, but who are our buyers? Let's meet them. Management consultant Tony and his wife Helen have lived in their 4-bedroom house in the suburb of Manchester for almost 7 years. But since Helen took redundancy from her management job 18 months ago, they've been seriously considering a move to the country, especially as their 10-year-old daughter Amelia is about to start secondary education.
We've been thinking about the possibility of a move from when I took redundancy, because there was nothing really keeping us here apart from maybe Amelia's school. Tony can work from pretty much anywhere, and it was really whether Amelia wanted to go, and as soon as she said yes, absolutely.
And the added incentive, of course, is we're looking for a bit of land, and she would like her own pony. She'd like a donkey. In fact, she'd probably like a zoo. However, that's one of the reasons that we're going.
And the location they've chosen is a county they've fallen head over heels for.
My grandmother and my grandfather had caravans up in the Lake District, so I used to spend a lot of my childhood up there and fell in love with the place from being 3 or 4 years old.
And obviously since we've been together, we've spent an awful lot of holidays up there, and then we're in a fortunate position where my father bought a holiday cottage probably about 7 or 8 years ago, So that enabled us then literally to go up every other weekend because we shared it, the holiday cottage with him. It's somewhere that is very close to our hearts and that we just love. It's like a second home to us, really.
Helen is hoping to find a teaching assistant post when they move, while Tony's consultancy job means he can increasingly work from home and enjoy more family time. It's also their passion for their animals that's central to their future home, with their 2 dogs and a potential new pony to cater for.
Once we get the move up to Cumbria, the whole idea is that we can spend more time actually as a family getting outside, walking, cycling, walking the dogs, Amelia riding horses, me watching. We want to get back to that lifestyle that we've seen every now and again on weekends and holidays, etc.
So outside space is key, but that doesn't mean the interior won't have a lot to live up to.
My ideal house in Cumbria would be a traditional Cumbrian farmhouse type building, which would have a large room, which is a family room, which has the dining room incorporated, nice large kitchen, big utility room, taking dogs out, dirty feet all the time, boot room, etc.
One final point of note, that's the finances.
The maximum budget for the move will be £600,000.
Tony and Helen would like to be in the South Lakes area within a reasonable distance of Windermere and close to new schools for their daughter Amelia. They'll also need good commuting links to the M6 motorway and trains for Tony's work. I caught up with them in this area's beautiful countryside to find out more about their move. Helen, Tony, welcome to the Lake District.
Welcome.
Actually, it should be you showing me around. You know this area really well, don't you?
Yes, indeed.
We do.
So let's talk about what sort of house you actually want in this idyllic location. What are you after?
We're looking for something traditional, possible cottage type environment, minimum of 3 bedrooms with a bit of land around it.
My daughter's into horses and things, so we're looking at hopefully getting something with a bit of land, with eventually to buying a horse.
So you want quite a bit of land?
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Well, you know that within the national park, land comes at a premium,
Absolutely.
so especially if it's got a house attached to it.
Yes.
Would you be willing to rent land?
Yes.
Yes.
God, you said. Should we get going?
Yes.
Come on,
Okay.
follow me. For their maximum budget of £600,000, Tony and Helen would like their rural retreat to have a large family room, a kitchen diner, a utility room with garden access, a study for Tony to work from home, 3 bedrooms, an enclosed dog-friendly garden, and also some space to keep a pony or 2. We've selected 3 fabulous properties that we think they will adore, and at each one I'll ask them to guess the price before I reveal it. Last on the viewing list is of course the Mystery House, which could throw a whole new business proposition into the mix. So I can imagine that this is a fantastic place for a holiday, but do you think there's a little bit of a danger sometimes in making a holiday destination home?
Yes, there definitely is, but we've seen this more of a destination we've always aspired to get to. We have looked at that aspect, but we've got the school for Amelia, which is local to us, and we've got a support network and infrastructure up here with Helen's father lives up here, so we've taken that into account, to be honest.
We've made the trip a few miles north of Kendal to the valley parish of Longsleddle, and we're a 30-minute drive from Windermere for Amelia's school. Longsleddle has a church, a community hall and around 30 houses scattered over 4 miles on either side of the River Sprint. It's also the inspiration behind the fictional village of Greendale, home of children's TV show Postman Pat. Our first property is a 17th century traditional Lakeland cottage, a former farmhouse built of local stone and slate. This is it.
Lovely.
And with a very spectacular
Wow.
view.
That's
You
what
couldn't
makes
ask
it-
for more than that, could
You
you?
couldn't. What do you think?
Yeah.
First
Looks-
impressions, yeah, lovely.
Yeah, great.
Well, we'll go in, but have you got the key?
No. Do they have keys around here? Is that the key?
That's the key to the front door.
Wow.
That gives you a little clue as to what it's going to be like in there.
Fabulous.
Right.
Let's go on. And another key to this lovely old farmhouse is that it's just overflowing with character and traditional features. I think it's going to be a real treat for our buyers when they step through the front door. Come on in. Don't be shy.
Wow.
First impressions?
Very nice. Love the fireplace.
Yes.
Absolutely love that.
Love the beams, love the character of the... Yes.
There's so much character in this room.
Yeah.
The original doors, beams, and this thing here. Do you know what this is?
Lovely.
No.
You'd bake your cakes and your bread and you'd put them there so the mice don't get them while they cool down. It's good, isn't it?
Great.
Fabulous. Yeah, something you would keep.
Yeah.
You've got a little room through there. That used to be the original kitchen. At the moment it's an office, which could be ideal for you as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, with the door tucked away.
Yeah.
And you've got another little room there which leads through to the kitchen. Should we go and have a look?
Yes. Lead on.
Through the second room, or snug, at the back of the house is the entrance to the kitchen, which is in the part of the building that was once the hayloft. The kitchen runs the full length of the property and opens onto the garden at the back.
Yeah, it's nice,
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
nice. I wouldn't change this at all. No, I'd leave it. It's fine. I'm happy with it.
Yes.
Well, a happy you is a happy you.
Yeah. And the kitchen, you know, is well designed and it works within the space that it's in.
It's versatile enough that we could, move things around to suit our needs. Really.
And the range is
And what
fantastic.
about cooking on a range?
Yes.
Can you imagine washing up and looking at that view?
Well, that's it.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's great.
With the downstairs of the property seemingly just the ticket, it's time to show Tony and Helen what's on the first floor. And I'm going to start by showing them where they might be sleeping. So this is the master bedroom currently.
Okay.
Little smaller than we'd hoped,
Yeah.
but it's a cottage. I
It
love
is.
the window.
Yeah, I mean, that's just sit there
Beautiful.
and look out.
That's your back garden.
Yeah.
Right, super.
But don't you want that big bedroom with a nice dressing area with a massive ensuite?
I'd love a
She would,
bedroom
yes.
with a dressing
Well, you
room
could
on
maybe
it.
have it in this one.
Okay.
All right.
Let me show you something.
Go on, after you.
Hold that thought, you two. Also upstairs is a family bathroom, along with 2 further good-sized bedrooms, so there's plenty of space for Amelia and any friends and family who come to stay. And if you go through the middle bedroom, you'll find the rather large surprise I've been keeping tucked away. So you walk through the smallest of the bedrooms, but into this new space.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, this was a separate annex, so you've got a separate door there. So it's a bedroom with its own bathroom and kitchen.
And we're above the kitchen here.
Yeah.
On this end of the building.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Right. Oh, this is a super room.
This could
Love
work.
this.
Couldn't it?
Yes, this could work.
This is
I mean, you wouldn't need the kitchen. You could take the kitchen away.
Yeah.
You could put wardrobe space in there. This could work.
So we've really delivered on everything they've asked for inside this property. But what about the outside? Well, there's the utility room they wanted for white goods and storage. There's also 3/4 of an acre of land, so a great space for the dogs. Well, we are seeing this view on probably the finest day, aren't we?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's incredible.
It is. It is. What a valley.
One thing you're noticing is probably land for...
Yes, I'm not
Gigi.
sure that it's conducive for horses.
No, but there are 3 families in the village who have
Okay.
horses,
Oh,
and they all use a livery, which is 6 minutes away.
right.
Fantastic.
Let's talk money then, shall we?
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go first. I would say 530.
530,000. Okay.
Okay, I think probably slightly higher. 545.
545,000.
Yes.
Okay. It's on the market for £590,000.
590.
So it's right at the
Wow.
top end, isn't it?
Listen, there's lots you've probably missed in that first viewing, so go and have another look round, and I'll be at the front catching a few rays.
Okay.
See you in a bit. So at £590,000, this traditional Lakeland cottage is £10,000 under their budget and offers them almost everything they're looking for. It has a sociable living space, a large kitchen and breakfast room, a study, a total of 4 bedrooms including the one in the annex, an outside utility room, 3/4 of an acre of gardens ideal for the dogs, and it's in close proximity to a livery for keeping that pony.
It's a beautiful house, and the lounge and the dining room seem to work. A lovely living space, log burner, really nice.
When I first saw the house, I thought it's stunning, picturesque, beautiful. Ticks all the boxes of my requirements, really. The position of the house could be a little bit remote. With Tony working away all week, myself and Amelia may feel a little isolated.
This is a life, isn't it? Oh. Aha. I was getting really bored with that view. Glad you're out. Seen enough?
We have.
Let's jump in the car.
Thank you.